Hey guys, I'm Elizabeth Newsom and welcome to my booktube channel. Today I'm going to tell you what being an author and YouTuber is really like. So people think it's really cool that I'm an author and they're like, you're super famous, or like there are actually people who will buy and read your books, or you have so many followers on Wattpad or YouTube or probably not Instagram. Instagram, I don't have a ton of followers. They're mostly just people I know in person. But I feel like there's kind of this aura of glamour that surrounds being an author when really it can be an incredibly mundane job. This isn't to say that I don't love it. For me, I love writing and I feel like it's a calling and my mission and my purpose. But just because you love something doesn't mean that it's not a lot of hard work. In fact, if anything, love means that you're willing to put that kind of work into it because you love it. For example, if you love someone you're married to, that doesn't mean that the marriage is always easy or that it's not hard work. But you love that person so much that you're willing to put in the hard work when necessary. And for me, it's really the same with writing. And I was looking through my Instagram posts the other day and scrolling and looking at my pictures, and generally I try to make the things I post on there about YouTube or my writing. Sometimes it's something personal, like telling someone happy birthday or making a post about how much I like my boyfriend. But just scrolling through it, I realized that it made it seem like I was winning tons of awards or going to conferences all the time or having book signings. Like occasionally I post small typos, but recently I posted like, I'm a semi-finalist for this award, or my YouTube channel has over 400 subscribers, which is funny because that was a while ago. Or look, this person sent me this free book for me to endorse for them. Then there's more pictures of conferences, there's pictures of my book coming up on Google Images, donating my hair, having book giveaways. There's a post from one of my readers saying the book is even better the second time and way better the third time. There's a picture of me doing author signings, of me going to a trading expo, of my book on a big poster. And if you just look at what I post on my Instagram, you'd think, most of the time she's like super successful and has lots of things going for her, lots of things happening. But I feel that kind of is an illusion and it warps what the reality of an author really is. So what is being an author like? Being an author is like getting up in the morning and writing for an hour or 2 hours a day. Being an author is like trying to edit for 8 hours a day when you're cramming for a deadline. Being an author means getting negative reviews, sometimes that are really insulting, or being able to take criticism on a work that you've spent hundreds of hours on, and being able to take those things and learn from them and to do so with grace. Being an author is like staring at a screen, wondering why you thought you could do this. Being an author is making mistakes that sometimes cost you hundreds of dollars. Needless to say, those are mistakes that I remember very well. Being an author sometimes means being stressed and insecure and comparing yourself to other people and realizing how many other authors are so much more successful than you, seeing their books around Instagram and thinking, why aren't my books more around Instagram? Why aren't more people reading my books? Being an author is sometimes getting a check from Amazon into your bank account and having it for $6 to $20, which on one side is cool, but on the other side, kind of demoralizing, especially when you think about how many hours you spent on the book and then the thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars you spent on editing. So in short, for me, being an author, my journey has been riddled with mistakes and insecurities. And if my Instagram posts were an accurate proportion of what my writing life is really like, 99.99999% of the posts would just be a computer screen, just like typing away day after day, sometimes 1,000 words, sometimes 3,000 words, 4,000, so on. I really don't do more than 3,000 or 4,000 on average though. That's kind of pushing my writing limit for the day. Yeah, but ultimately being an author is making a lot of sacrifices for something you love to do and sometimes not getting a huge return on it. Now, I am a firm believer that if you put in enough time and passion into something, that you'll become better at it, and the money will come later as a result of doing something that you love. And because of that, I'm willing to wait a very long time until I actually make a profit. And that might sound like a terrible business plan or investment for some of you guys. Like, who would want to put money into a company that might not pay anything back for the next 10 years? But, of course, this is not short-term investing I'm talking about. It's long-term investing, and it's a dream that I will spend my entire life pursuing. Another thing that a lot of people think about authors and writing is like, wow, it's so incredible that they can write so much, and just like that determination and the perseverance. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of determination and perseverance. Excuse the rooster. There's a lot of determination and perseverance involved, especially during days when you feel really insecure and you've just had a review that's blasted your self-esteem to smithereens. Gosh. Some of you guys probably remember that review I read from the newspaper, and I hate to say with it, but there are still parts of it that still stick with me. And I've kind of gotten into the mindset that my book isn't really that good. Which is really weird, because a lot of people have told me that they genuinely enjoyed the book. Not just like, it was a good book, but they'll say things like, I stayed up till 2 a.m. reading your book because I couldn't stop. And yet, it's really hard to just block out the bad opinions and to focus on the good ones, even if the good ones are the vast majority. So, anyway, as I was saying, there is determination and perseverance because you have to face your own insecurities, you have to face other people's criticism, other people telling you that either you're not good at writing or that writing is just impractical as a career. For me, there's nothing really superhuman about it. It's something that anyone can do if they feel a calling to do so. And honestly, once you get in the habit of meeting your word count every day, and every morning you get up and you're like, all right, I'm going to spend an hour after I get up writing some words, and then an hour after lunch, and you get those 3,000 words done, which is what my schedule looks like, then you just get used to it, and it's an expectation you try to meet more or less every day. You don't always, unfortunately. But like I said, if it's a calling, a mission, then it's different. Because for me, the first thing I know about myself is that I'm a Christian and I have a relationship with God and that God is real and that He loves me. The second thing I know about myself is that I am a writer. I am made and destined and created to write. And even though writing can be hard, in many ways, I just feel so lucky that I have a purpose that I'm passionate about. Because in college, you see lots of people staying in college for way over 4 years as they switch from major to major to major, trying to find what they're passionate about, what they want to do with their lives. So I'm lucky enough to have that, so why wouldn't I pursue it to the best of my abilities? So there you have some of my thoughts on what being an author is actually like. There are certainly highlights. I get to do fun things like I get paid to speak to writing groups about how to use YouTube, how to publish books. Sometimes I get awards. Sometimes people make Instagram posts about my book and say how much they love it. But the vast majority of it is just like sitting your butt down and putting your hands on the keyboard and writing. It's just writing those words out every day, even if you have to force them. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if there are any aspiring authors out there, I hope this didn't just dampen your passion. Because I'm very sincere when I say that it's not something super glamorous, but if it's something you love, then just do it anyway, regardless of what you get in return. Because in my opinion, even if I change one person's life in the slightest way, then the whole effort, the hundreds of hours, the thousands of dollars was completely worth it. And every message I get on how eye-opening a book was, or how this changed someone in some way, it just makes me realize that God has a bigger purpose for my writing and that in the end it'll all be worth it. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe, because I post one bookish or writing related video a week. And as always, I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know what some of your thoughts are about being an author, and if you're an author, what your expectations were, what are some things that you have found not to be true. So, let me know down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!